Good morning.
Hello.
Please stand and join us in singing our gathering song, My Soul is Welcome Here. One, two, four. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hey. Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Stuart. Good morning. Everybody that is coming in right now, please sit on the right side of the church or we're going to tip over. For those of you who are online, the whole left side of the church has got most of the people on it. So everybody coming in right now, sit to the right so we don't tip over. All right. Good morning, and welcome to everybody who's watching on YouTube and Facebook, and welcome, thank you everybody who is on Facebook who navigated over from our Unity of Stuart page to my Rev Jude Denning page, as we are having issues with, Facebook is actually having issues, not we. They're having issues between Facebook and our streaming service, and they're working that out. But in the meantime, I don't know how long it's going to take. If we're not on our Unity of Stuart page, we'll be on my Rev Jude Denning page. So welcome. So those of you who are on YouTube, it's usually, I think it's Lana this morning, and Jessica and Phil. Bon voyage, or smooth plane ride to Ireland as you go tonight to your birthplace for Phil. And hi to Pam and Ellen and Ann. We're glad you're joining us today. And let's see who is on Facebook. So we have Barb and Randy and Janice. Janice happens to be my sister. It's going to make me cry that you're watching this morning. And, of course, Jerry in the booth is on, and Cheryl is monitoring the Unity of Stuart Facebook page in case there's some lost souls over there, so she can direct them. Of course, Jen is also bilocating. And Linda in one of the Carolinas. Linda is watching from home, and it's good to see you all. And Taryn, my daughter in Germany, is here. So, Taryn, and if May and Zeke are watching, Yaya loves you. Hi, hi, hi. And, oh, good, okay, I'm happy now. I mean, I'm always happy. Well, not always happy. I'm happy a lot. And welcome to all of you who are here in our service. As always, we have with us our Joyful Noise Band and Choir. So welcome them this morning. I'm grateful for you being here this morning. And we have Jen Erickson with her original song, The Power of Yes, today. And I also want to bring your attention to these crystal chalices today, as mostly Doreen and Don blessed us with meditative music every Sunday, and Doreen's brought her chalices here today. And what I want you to become aware of, if you're not already aware, is that Doreen also has a side gig along with her PR job. She does something called vibrational voyages. And that is a sound healing, mind, body, spirit healing with many other instruments. And she does that. There are 2 coming up on September 22nd and 23rd, each at 7 p.m. And I just want to read a little bit about what she does on her vibrational voyages. Just as musical instruments go out of tune, your body and mind and spirit do too. Well, Doreen, we have to talk about that because I don't think spirit ever goes out of tune. I think that we get disconnected from spirit.
Your spirit might.
Say again?
I said your spirit might.
My spirit might? No, indeed. No, it doesn't.
All of our spirits might.
We get disconnected from our spirit. Can we agree on that?
All right.
Okay. All right. Back to the regularly
Edit.
scheduled programming.
Edit.
So, all right. So you be quiet now. I'll talk, okay? All right. So she said, we think of this sacred sound session as a tune-up, right? That you move into a state of balance and relaxation. Hear that? And you'll experience more of that at her vibrational voyage. So that's September 22nd and 23rd at 7 p.m. And if you'd like more information about that, you can see Rini after the service, and she will be delighted to give you some more information about that. If you are a first-timer present in the sanctuary today and you feel comfortable, Ricky is coming forward with some welcome packets. If you feel comfortable, please raise your hand and he will be happy to give you a welcome packet. Anybody else? Okay, we have some, we are blessed with newcomers today, first-timers today. Did I see somebody else over on this side raise their hand? Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, up here,
Up
Ricky.
here, Ricky.
One more up here, I believe. No? Ellen? Oh, there. Okay. Oh, you were waving to your hubby, like telling him where you are. Okay. All right. So what's in that welcome packet is information about Unity of Stuart, information about our larger Unity movement. In there is a form that you can fill out and bring it back to Marlis at the welcome table after service, and you'll be put on our newsletter email list if you bring that back, and you will also get a gift if you bring that back to Marlis. Also in that packet is a prayer request or an intention form. If you fill that out and put it in our prayer box out in the foyer, our prayer chaplains here will pray over it for a month or so, and then they will send it off to our prayer headquarters at Unity Village, where they will pray over it there for another 30 days. So we invite you to do that as well. I thought there was something else I wanted to say about that. Prayer box, welcome. We're glad you were here. That's the bottom line. We invite you to join us. We have a fundraiser today for our youth and family ministry. It's an ice cream sundae, so come and join us afterwards. Also, I'm going to be encouraging all of us, not just newcomers, to put on name tags and to wear name tags so that, for newcomers and for all of us who have maybe short memories or forget what each other's names are, we can know each other's names, and that will help us stay a little bit more connected. So if you don't have a name tag, please, there is a form out there, a sign-up sheet, and if you'd like a name tag, we will do that for you, and you can pick that up when you come in. If you haven't raised your hand and you would like a welcome packet, you can pick one up on the way out. And for those of you who are online, if you would like us to send you one, you can email Eva at admin@unityofstuart.org, and she will be happy to send you a welcome packet. I said YouTube first time. I said YouTube too. Okay, I'm with you. We have prayer chaplains who are on duty today. If you would like some personal prayer after our Sunday service, we invite you to pray with Nancy. I think Nancy is the prayer chaplain on duty today. There is Nancy. You will know her by her stole and by her beautiful head of hair. And she will be in the sanctuary after service to pray with you. And what that looks like is a short prayer. She'll say, "How can I pray with you?" And you will tell her what your challenge or your joy is, and she will be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. You can also see that we have a prayer line at Unity Village, and you can call that for prayer, and you can also email us at prayer@unityofstuart.org. Most importantly, we'd like you all to know that Unity of Stuart is a welcoming, affirming, practical path of spirituality. All are welcome here, all are affirmed here, and we'd like you to know that you honor us with your presence. Thanks for being the church. I keep looking up there. The back monitor is not on. Why? This is why I have this up here. Coffee House Concert is coming up, and that is on Friday, September 29th. And that is our Connected Souls band, and who is partaking of our September Connected Souls Coffee House Concert. Now, would you like to say something about that, Rini?
Oh, man.
I'd just like to say that last month we had the best turnout
So good.
that we've had, other than the Christmas concert, since before COVID. So let's keep that ball rolling. And the reason we had so many is because some people brought their friends and neighbors. So we encourage you to do that again. Thank you.
All right, September 29th. Oh, one more thing I'd like you to know is that you may have noticed that we're not doing a whole lot of announcements anymore from up here. And so what I want you to know is that everything that we do is in our newsletter, mostly in our bulletin and on our website under our events and classes pages. And we also like you to know that our weekly attendance, our income and expenses are in our weekly newsletter, and they're also every week they change, and they'll be on the bulletin board in the kitchen. So you can find out everything that's going on. You can find out all about our finances. If you are interested, just look around. And if you can't find something, you can just ask any board member, or you can ask me. You can ask Eva in our office. All right, let's take a deep breath together. And I invite you to join me today as we dedicate this service to our awakening, so that we may serve and be a channel for awakening for all beings. One with Source. I see with spiritual vision. How I choose to see the world determines my experience of it. I look at myself in the mirror and at my life and at my endeavors with perfect spiritual vision, and I celebrate my blessings. If I face challenges, I may be tempted to see myself and others through the lens of my inner critic. I pause and breathe deeply and remind myself that I am a traveler on this journey of life and still have much to learn about myself. I refrain from making harsh judgments against my fellow human beings. Becoming calm, I take a deeper, kinder view of myself, my beliefs and behaviors, and lose the temptation to disparage another. I am blessed with the gift of greater clarity, and I see with spiritual vision. And we breathe. And we settle in, knowing that Spirit is in this place. And I invite us to activate our spiritual vision, rising up above the challenges of our everyday lives, as we know that we are one with Source and we see with spiritual vision. And so it is. Amen. And let's affirm today's affirmation together. One with Source, I see with spiritual vision. And let's take that deep breath as we anchor this affirmation. And affirm one more time together. One with Source, I see with spiritual vision. And so it is. Amen. And let's prepare for prayerful meditation as we sing, Be Still. And we breathe deep, conscious breaths, if you will. And if it's comfortable for you, I invite you to close your eyes and take at least three of those deep, conscious breaths. Dropping your shoulders. Relaxing your forehead. Releasing any tension you may be holding in your body. And setting the intention to be here now. Be here now in your body. This body that is a miracle. This body that vibrates with life, with wholeness, with love, with healing power. This body that is alive. This body that is made up of cells and muscles and tissue that vibrates with wholeness and healing power. And it's in gratitude that we move into this time of prayerful meditation. Knowing that where we are in every moment is holy ground. So we let go of any judgments, any concerns, any challenges that we have brought into this holy space. And we let God be God in and through and as us. And we let go. We let go. We let go. And I invite us to raise our vision, to lift our consciousness, to activate our higher wisdom so that we see with the eyes of spirit. So if you imagine that which we call God, whatever that is for you, if it's higher power, if it's spirit, if it's Buddha, the universal divine, whatever it is for you, if it's divine love, just imagine divine light. I invite you to activate that presence and that power right now. It may be the sounds you're hearing. And let yourself be lifted. Lifted in love. Lifted in wholeness. Lifted in compassion and peace. Lifted above any challenge. Seeing as Spirit sees. Let this sacred vision bring you peace, bring you rest. And know that no matter what the outer appearance is, no matter what challenge you may be facing, that you are whole right here and right now. That you are rising above anything that seems like it's too much, that seems like it's too big. That Spirit in, through, and as you is bigger than this. And allow my words to become your own, right here and now, affirming, all is well with my soul. I am whole. I am peace. I am love. All is well with my soul. I am whole. I am peace. I am love. In the quiet. And as we have co-created this sacred space, I invite us to bring into our awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart, and all of those that are in our minds and hearts this morning, any situation, any person. And if you'd like to speak their names out into this holy space, I invite you to do that now. And releasing all into the power and the presence of the One. I invite you to join me in praying this in the name and the nature and the light and the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. And let us sing.
Good morning. There's power in yes. Yes. I think so.
One.
Started out in different places, different lives with different faces, searching for a different kind of life. You see, searching for a life fulfilled, free from judging things until I looked at them from both sides of the street. If we push and meet resistance, do we turn around and follow the path we wore while searching for our best? Take a step, make a thought, make a move, sing a song, and activate your power of yes. So we're on a different journey. We are learning and affirming. What's ever put in motion will go, go, go. I will tell you, don't be frightened. I affirm we are enlightened and happy to go down a different road. There's a moral to this story. You can shine in all your glory, or go back to that shelter in your mind. Don't go. Take a step, think a thought, make a move, sing a song, and activate your power of yes. There's a moral to this story. You can shine in all your glory, or go back to that shelter in your mind. Don't go. Take a step, think a thought, make a move, sing a song, and activate your power of yes. Treat the truth you hold inside. You don't need to run and hide, and activate your power of yes. And activate your power of yes. Activate the power of yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
What would you like to say yes to right now? Think about that for a second. Everything?
Everything.
Well, pick one thing. Let's hear it. Life? What else? Megabucks? What else? I'll say yes to that. What else? Wait, what? Hot? You're saying yes to hot weather? All right. I say yes to cool weather. How about you? I say yes to peace on earth, for crying out loud. I say yes to everybody having enough to eat. Say again? Great health for everyone. So I'm also saying yes to this book that we've been doing, which I could not find when I got back from vacation. I don't know where it is. But I say yes to essential spirituality. I say yes to this book by Dr. Robert Walsh, and then one that we took a break from last week because John Polici was here last Sunday. How many were in? Pretty good, right? Yeah, it's good service, good music. And I'm hoping we have one more week left for this series, and I'm hoping that you're finding some spiritual practices that resonate with you. I know some people, because I've been banging the drum for people to get this book and to put some of these practices into service in your lives. And I have people going, yeah, I bought the book. So keep using it. Buy the book if you haven't. We've looked at transforming our motivation, cultivating emotional wisdom, living ethically, concentrating and calming our minds. And today we're looking at awakening our spiritual vision. So Confucius wrote this: with coarse rice to eat, with water to drink, and my bended arm for a pillow, I have joy in the midst of these things. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. To be able to practice 5 things everywhere under heaven constitutes perfect virtue: gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. Our greatest glory isn't in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. I don't know about you, but how many times have you fallen and you've been thinking, that's it. I cannot, I will not get up from this. I can't imagine getting up and feeling joy after this. I can't imagine that I'm the only one, right? Anybody in here with me? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. However, That's life. Life is challenges. When I first came into Unity, I used to think, well, if I do this right, I will never have any challenges, right? If I do this right, if I learn metaphysics, if I learn what God is, if I learn how to always walk on the sunny side of the street, I will never be in despair. I will never have a health challenge. I will always be optimistic. And I'll just never have an issue. I'll never have a problem. Well, that hasn't worked out like that for me. All right, is anybody in? Anybody want to change places with me? Because if that's happened for you, have the podium and teach us how. That's not how it works. I know sometimes we think that, but that's not how it works. How it works is that as we do this work, we get the tools to cope. We get the tools to cope with our challenges. We get the tools that we may rise up in spiritual vision so that we can meet our challenges with equanimity. So we can meet our challenges without falling into despair. Well, we can still fall into despair, but not as long as we used to. We can be in that place and remember that we have spiritual tools to meet the challenges. Amen? Amen. Amen. Having that spiritual vision is a gift that allows us to perceive the subtle, to go beneath what is happening to us in our challenge, in our lives, so that we can expand our consciousness and rise above normal perceptions. So in the midst of it all, we can see grace. We can still see beauty. We can still see the remarkable, the incredible, the extraordinary. That's the gift. And something is required of us in order to get that gift. We've got to pay attention. We've got to wake up. Our normal way of being, the average way of being, the normal gaze through which we go through life with, won't activate our spiritual perception. If we go through life, same old, like it's no big deal, every day, same old, we won't activate that spiritual perception. Life's the same, work's the same day. So wait, what is it? Different day, same. Story. Thank you. I've used another word, which I won't say up here. You know what I'm thinking. Everything's the same on a different day. Coworkers are the same, issues are the same, life's the same. We don't see anything extraordinary. It takes that spiritual perception. It takes being awake in every moment so that we can see the extraordinary. Albert Einstein is often quoted, and sometimes when I quote, the masters, and I didn't look this up this time, I always look up to see, did they really say that? So I didn't do that this time, so I'm going to say he's often quoted as saying, there are two ways to see life. Either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. Right? So what we're called to do, what I'm calling us to do, is I choose to see that everything is a miracle. I'm a miracle. You're a miracle. I mean, just imagine, look at the human body. How is it that we're walking around on this planet? Breathing, walking, thinking, living. It's a miracle, yeah? But I know I don't always see it that way. Right? And many of us don't always see it that way. We kind of we walk the middle road. We think, well, maybe life isn't a miracle. Only if God would change something, then it would be a miracle. Right? But Einstein didn't offer a middle road. Either everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. If nothing is a miracle, then we're all alone out here in the world with no hope for change, no rising above, no transformation. Or everything's a miracle. Everything is an expression of the divine. Everything is an expression of God. Everything that shows up in our life, every situation, is the essence of a miracle. Even that. Whatever you're thinking about now, even that. Everything is filled with infinite possibilities. Nothing is stuck in space and time. Everything is the essence of a miracle. Everything in our lives houses a thread of the sacred. No matter how mechanistic the world seems, there's a thread of the sacred that runs through everything. And the work that is ours to do is to find that sacred, to unearth it and retain it. We have to look for it. We have to take the initiative to see it. And yet, as I know this intellectually, it is sometimes very easy for me to forget and for my eyes to be clouded. And I can get jaded and cynical. Just be in my presence when I happen to watch the news. To perceive that nothing changes, that it's the same old, same old. Until something drastic comes along to open up my eyes. Sometimes it's a great loss that I suffer or someone else suffers. You know, I'm doing a celebration of life service after our service today. For those of you who knew her, Mary Delaney, she passed a couple of months ago, and her celebration of life service is today after service. It's actually on Zoom and in person. And whenever I do a celebration of life service, I am blessed with a great gift. The love of family, the coming together to remember, the stories that people tell. It's such a gift to be able to be in that holy space. In an incredibly challenging situation, I have the opportunity to see this great light and this great love. And it's not just that light and love just appear in a difficult situation. It's what we're made of. And sometimes that difficult situation just brings it out of us. It's always there, and we can always access it. It's always there. It's just a matter of perception. You know, many of us have heard the story of Moses and the burning bush, yes? And in the course of that story, God tells Moses to take off his shoes because he's on holy ground. Right? Take off your shoes because where you're standing is holy ground. Now, in Unity, many of you know that we don't take the Bible stories literally. That there's always something underneath the story. We call it, take it metaphysically, metaphorically. So the metaphysics, the metaphor of that story where God tells Moses to take off his shoes because he's standing on holy ground. What I see that as, we take off our shoes because we're taking off an old understanding. We're taking off that which gets between us and an understanding. So we're taking off an old understanding and standing on a new understanding, this holy ground. Where we are is a new understanding, the kingdom of heaven being right here with nothing between us and that kingdom. Right here and right now for you and for me is that kingdom of heaven. Nothing beyond us, nothing outside of us. It's right here and right now, and it's up to us to perceive that kingdom now, this moment. We are not waiting for the second coming. There is no second coming, but wait, there is. It's you. The second coming is you. It's me. It's everybody within the sound of my voice and without the sound of my voice. It's everybody that shows up, awakened, and willing to call ourselves on our own BS and wake up and be in the world as a channel for Christ consciousness. And now when I say Christ consciousness, I don't mean that we're Jesus Christ. I mean that we embody that Christ consciousness. We embody everything that Jesus the Christ embodied. And we can be there when we wake up to it. We are not here to get that which we call God to do something for us. We are here to recognize each other for who and what we are, expressions of the divine. And what we are, what we seek, is already here. So when we come up against a challenge or a challenging person, because many of you have heard me say this before, it's easy to be holy when we are alone. It's easy to be holy when we're sitting on the meditation cushion. So easy. It's easy to be holy when Doreen's on the chalice and we get those vibrations. Not so easy when we're up against that person or that coworker or that politician or that whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? But what about those who challenge us? Right? Mother Teresa, she had an ability to see the Christ in all its distressing disguises. So she was able to give love from an expanded consciousness because she had that conscious connection with the divine, with the sacred. And day after day, she tended to those in need. She tended to those that weren't pretty. She tended to those that probably were sometimes distressingly rude or distressingly aggressive. Now, she had no illusion that she'd be able to save every person. But nevertheless, she persisted. Now, we don't have to become Mother Teresa. And what our responsibility is, I challenge us to do, is work to achieve the ability to see people for who they are at depth, beyond what we see with our outer eye. And see who they are at depth. See underneath how people are presenting. To look beyond the physical to the sacred. That's looking with spiritual vision. To give up our old perceptions. When we don't feel at peace, we need to be willing to give up our perceptions and see the world with divine vision. So the work then is to be awake to when we are at peace and awake to when we are not at peace. And then to investigate, to interrogate why we are not at peace. Not just to stuff it, not just to eat it away, not just to watch TV it away or to Amazon it away. We're to interrogate it. Why am I feeling this? All right? And to investigate it. It's how you can know, right? If there's work to need to be done. To investigate it. So this is what I know for me, is when I hold judgments that are not connected to the truth of who the other person is at depth, I can't be at peace. When I'm holding a resentment or I'm holding an unforgiveness, I can't be at peace. I must be willing to see the sacred in that person. I must be willing to see who they are underneath how they're presenting. And again, I say this every time, you might be getting sick of it by now, doesn't mean we have to have lunch with that person. It doesn't mean we have to have a relationship. But we do have to heal that within us. And wish, for me, it means I have to wish that person well. May you be filled with loving kindness. But does that mean that everyone loves us? No. Does that mean we always agree with everyone? No. It just means we don't indulge our judgments. We don't gossip about it. You know, we don't I have 3 sisters, and I can't even tell you how many times we say, did you see that person? She obviously doesn't have sisters. She doesn't have somebody to tell her that doesn't look good on her. Right? Those kinds of things. We got to knock that off. Right? When we begin to stop the judgments, we begin to create the world that we want to see. One breath at a time, one relationship at a time. If we only use our physical eyes to see, we're denying the transformational power of our spiritual sight. The master teacher, Jesus, said this: if you keep your eye single, your whole body will be full of light. Now, what does that mean? If you keep your eye single, if you keep your eye on the depth, on Christ's consciousness, on who people are at depth, looking with the eyes of spirit, we will be radiant lights in the world. So you can ask yourself the question, am I seeing this with the spiritual eye? Am I keeping my eye single? And sometimes it takes a while to remember that, right? Sometimes we get so sure of who somebody is. We gather the facts and the evidence so we can keep them in that block of cement that we have put them in. Right? Am I seeing this with a spiritual eye? My colleague has this practice. If you're having a challenge with someone, and you happen to have a picture of them, and if you don't, you can write their name on a piece of paper, and then on 2 other pieces of paper, write "expect a miracle," and then put their picture or their name between those other 2 pieces of paper and carry that around for a while. And every time you come across it in your wallet or wherever you put it in your nightstand, just see that person with loving kindness. That's all. And see what happens. See how the relationship changes. See how you become willing to give up how you hold that person. Be willing to give up your position, your judgments, your fact gathering. Try surrendering and turning it over to spirit and see how your vision elevates. I want to talk a little bit about how spiritual vision leads us into wisdom. Now, I'm in my mid-60s, right? And I have noticed, and for those of you who are that age and maybe a little older, maybe a little younger even, have noticed about how I've noticed that I'm a little wiser than I was in my earlier years. Right? Yes? Oh, yeah. Yes, right? For those of you who are younger than that, or maybe there's a few of you younger than that, you can jumpstart your wisdom. You can jumpstart your wisdom. You don't have to wait until you're older to start to be wise. Because when you activate spiritual vision, like I just talked about, wisdom comes right on the heels of that. We begin to see below the surface. And we get that intuition from which wisdom comes. So the visionary aspect of wisdom sees and explores 3 things. This is from the book. Wisdom recognizes that there's a better way to live. It recognizes that our mind creates and clouds our experiences. I said this earlier in this series. We don't always have to believe what we think. We don't always have to believe what we think. A lot of the times what we think isn't right. It's not good for us, right? Wisdom sees that the untrained mind is wild and uncontrolled and can lead to suffering. But it also recognizes that the mind can be trained, tamed, transformed, and transcended, causing happiness, love, altruism, and freedom. And finally, he says, wisdom reminds us that we are so much more than we think we are. Recent research has shown that wise people are able to transcend personal agendas and turn to collective or universal issues. Buddhism calls this the union of wisdom and compassion, because wisdom naturally finds its expression in service to others. So how do we become wise? he says that wisdom is a paradox because in order to become wise, we first have to recognize that we aren't. Right? When you and I begin to understand that we don't know it all, wisdom begins. Three of the most powerful words in the English language. I don't know. When I was a young mother, maybe even a little older of a mother, I never wanted to say I don't know to my kids. Anybody else? I always felt like I had to know everything. Now my kids are 40 and 30-something and 20-something. It's like sometimes I just look at them and say, I don't know. I don't know. And I trust that you have everything that you have to be able to figure that out. And if you need support, I'll support you. I don't know is so powerful. It's a gateway to wisdom. So, other ways to cultivate wisdom. Commit to silence and solitude. Reflect on, this all is from the book, by the way. Reflect on the 4 mind changers from Tibetan Buddhism. Remember that life is inconceivably precious. And try not to waste it. Life is short and death is certain. We don't know how long we'll have. And we can be inspired because of that to live more fully, more boldly, and more impeccably. So as I've moved into my 60s, 60 was really big for me, I started to begin to think about how do I want to live this next 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. How do I want that to look? And I really began to focus on how do I live more fully? When I die, what do I want to have left, right? And so this past year, I decided I was going to buy a new car. I'm driving a 13-year-old Honda Fit. I used to call it a tuna can on wheels. It's 13 years old. I bought it brand new for $17,000, right? And as I'm getting to the stage, I want a more comfortable car. I can afford a new car. I want a new car. I want like a living room on wheels. I'm getting too old for this tuna can on wheels. And so I put a deposit down on a car that was going to take a year. If you're in the market for a hybrid, forget it. And then as it began to be closer to the year, I started thinking, is that really what I want to spend my money on? Is that really what I want to spend my money on? And then I happened to take a European vacation. And I went to the British Isles with my sisters. And when I came back from the British Isles with my sisters, I thought, nope, I don't want a new car. I will drive my tuna can on wheels with joy. It means I can travel again to Europe. Right? So I really bought into experiences rather than things. And then my 20-year-old daughter, who's usually here on Sundays, she's actually in Denver right now at a cousin's wedding, she said, and I just came back from Albuquerque, experiences rather than things. She says, you're going to Albuquerque, and then you're going to Europe. When do I get to go to Europe? And I thought, okay. I said, when you graduate, she's going to go to paramedic training in a year. I said, when you graduate from paramedic, I'm taking you to Europe. And that was a little scary, which means now I have to pay for the both of us to go back to Europe. So experiences rather than things, because that's important to me, so that I can live my life boldly, have that experience. Going to Europe with my daughter lives in, I know I'm telling you my life story now. My middle daughter lives in Germany, so I'm going to visit her. And then my other daughter's coming, we're going to Paris. And then I'm going to Italy with my sisters. Experiences, because that's what I decided was important to me in my life. So I invite you don't have to go to Europe, but I invite you to think about that. As we get older, what's important to us? What do we want to live 4, what experiences do we want to have? One choice at a time. And onward. Life contains inevitable difficulties. Do the work so that you can meet those difficulties with equanimity, prayer, and meditation. Spiritual reading. What are you putting into your mind? I challenge you, for every minute that you watch the news, spend time in the quiet or spend time reading something spiritual. Balance out that other stuff you put in your mind. And finally, recognize your teachers and their gifts. Think about your life. And it's not just a teacher who's up here or a teacher you had in school. It's the teachers all around you in your life. Who have been the greatest teachers in your life? If you don't think it's your intimate partner, think again. Think again. Family members, friends, coaches, your children. They even may at times felt like adversaries or people you disliked. Spend some time writing down their names. Then list the special qualities of those people and the lessons you've learned from them. Next, reflect on the qualities in you that made you receptive to their wisdom. And then allow that gratitude to emerge. And you might wish to express that gratitude to them at a time. This obviously would be a gift to them, and it's also a gift to you. Because to express gratitude multiplies it and strengthens it. So, what we need, what our world needs, is another way to see. It's a way to rise above all of this down here, to raise our vision, to keep our eyes single, to know that there are other ways that we can meet our world. The way of love, of compassion, of peace for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for our entire planet. I claim this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. And now it's the time for our celebration of abundance. And for those of you online, since Sophia is not here and Jerry does not have access to it, I am putting that up as we speak. You have it? Awesome. Bear with me a second. Thank you. Thank you for your continued love offerings, your tithes, your gifts. Thank you for your service to Unity of Stuart. You bless us with every gift of finances and every gift of service. And knowing that I hope you know that your gifts help transform you, me, and our world. Let's affirm our prosperity prayer and then our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing about it.
2. I got an attitude, I got an attitude, I got an attitude of gratitude. I thank the universe for each new day, whether it's sunny or it's pouring rain.
One more announcement. If you are interested in the basics of unity, especially for people who haven't been around for a while, and for those who have been, come and add your wisdom to this two-part class, October 8th and 15th, 12:15 to 2:15 both days. Please sign up at the information table because you will receive materials, and that's a $15 suggested donation for both classes. Please sign up. And let's see. Do we have kiddos out there?
They're making ice cream.
I know, but are they making ice cream? Is that making ice cream noise, or is it children in the hallway ready to come in noise? Let's sing. Let's sing. If they come in, they come in.
1, 2,
Let's stand.
3. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light of God.
All right, please be seated. All right, oh my God, keep singing, keep singing.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light of God.
All right, now if you'd please be seated. Could you tell it's Ice Cream Sunday?
It's only C&G's.
All right. Hello, hello. How's it going? Does anybody want to share? Okay, come on. There's so many of you. Nobody wants. Okay, Zaddy.
Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. We have ice cream everywhere today.
Ice cream.
Everywhere. If you, that's true. That is true. There's no ice cream on the ceiling. So we have kids up here holding ice cream, and what does it say on it?
It says 5.
5. So if we go down there into the kitchen, we have ice cream for $5. What a steal!
It's a steal.
What a steal!
That's a bargain at twice the price.
And do we have new people? I don't know. I haven't been here in a while. Are there new people? There's new people.
New people. All right,
Hey,
welcome.
give a round of applause.
Welcome, new people.
I think Sky wants to say something amazing.
No, Sky does
I guess
not.
not. I guess not.
Who
How
else?
about,
Nova? Layla?
You have to say my name.
Do you want to say anything?
this is Miles.
Hi, Miles.
Oh, y minus 4 equals plus.
Thank you, Cadence.
Yeah.
Cadence has got a handle on it.
Yeah, Jamin just takes the microphone and runs with it a little bit.
They're siblings.
For our lesson today, we had a quote. It was like, what you give increases, it comes back to you tenfold. So we talked about how like we have 7 billion chances to give kindness and to receive it back out of all the people in the world. And then we read a book, we read The Rainbow Fish, and then we talked a little bit about how to give, you know, how to respect others, how do we feel when we give, do we prefer receiving or giving, and then we made little gifts for each other. I think Isabel brought hers. Isabel made a little fish. Yeah, it looks great. It does have a nose.
It does.
So Isabel gave the fish a nose. How did it make you feel?
Good.
Good fish.
All right.
What?
Nova.
All right. Layla.
L plus O plus V plus E equals love.
Yes, it does.
Yes, that is true.
Wait. We didn't hear that.
Because me and Layla have something to say.
Okay. All right, we're done. All right. Okay. Let us You have one last chance. Do you want to say something, Nova? We're not going to make Layla say anything, but if you want to say something, I'll give you the mic. Yeah? That was a prank? Okay. Moving on. Well, let's stand as we bless our kiddos.
We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you.
And we invite you to hold our kiddos in your prayers. And let us close with the prayer for protection and the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. Let's sing.
6. And there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous thought. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. 1, 2, 3, 4.